In the vast expanse of human history, where empires rise and fade like whispers on the wind, there exists a powerful and often overlooked story. It's a story of a noble people whose influence and legacy stretch across continents and centuries. As the sun dips below the horizon of Africa's sweeping savannas, we begin a journey into the past, into the rich narratives of majestic kings and queens, their skin deep and dark like the fertile earth they ruled. These leaders, whose legacies remain etched in time, shaped the world as we know it. The Bible, an ancient and revered text, holds within its pages the forgotten stories of these extraordinary figures. Its sacred verses transcend time and culture, offering glimpses into the lives of powerful ancestors whose stories are rarely told. Today, we invite you to embark on a cinematic journey that delves into these untold tales, stories that have long been preserved in the sands of Africa, waiting to be rediscovered. Before we begin this exploration of the origins of Black and African peoples as chronicled in the Bible, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. By doing so, you'll stay connected as we unveil fascinating insights and hidden narratives that will open your eyes to a history that has remained in the shadows for too long. Let's embark on this remarkable journey together as we uncover the legacy of Africa's ancestors through the lens of Scripture. According to the Bible, all the people of the earth today can trace their lineage back to one of Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. This includes people of all races and ethnicities, and specifically Black individuals and those with dark skin are believed to be descended from Ham. Shem and Japheth, Ham's brothers, are seen as the ancestors of the Asiatic and European peoples. Shem's lineage includes the Arabs, Jews, and Syrians, while Japheth is seen as the father of Europeans and Asians. However, it is Ham who plays a particularly significant role in the biblical story of Black and African peoples. The Bible identifies Ham as the progenitor of the African nations, and his name is repeatedly linked with Africa itself. Psalms even reference Ham in connection with the ancient Egyptians, indicating the deep roots of his lineage on the continent. Throughout history, Jewish and other ancient traditions have echoed this belief, consistently associating Ham's descendants with Africa. Ham's name, in Hebrew, Aramaic, and other ancient languages, means burnt or dark, an allusion to the skin color of his descendants. This connection between Ham and Africa is not just a passing reference, it is a central theme in understanding the origins of many African nations. In the book of Genesis, particularly in chapter 10, verses 6 to 14, the genealogy of Ham is laid out, and from here we can trace the origins of many African nations. Ham had 4 sons, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Each of these sons became the forefather of different groups of people. Cush, Ham's first son, is perhaps the most notable. Cush is identified as the father of the Ethiopian people, and the kingdom of Cush, located in what is now Sudan and Ethiopia, was one of the most powerful ancient civilizations in Africa. The Ethiopians and the Nubians, descendants of Cush, shared a rich cultural heritage that influenced much of Africa and the world. Their contributions to architecture, religion, and governance are still remembered today. Mizraim, Ham's second son, is the progenitor of the ancient Egyptians. The Bible refers to Egypt as Mizraim, a name still used by Arabs, Jews, and Syrians today. The civilization that arose along the Nile under Mizraim's descendants became one of the most advanced in the ancient world. Known for its monumental architecture, art, and advancements in science and medicine. The pyramids of Giza, towering above the desert sands, are a testament to the ingenuity and power of this civilization. Ham's third son, Phut, is associated with the Libyans and other African peoples. The name Phut means landmark in the ancient languages, and his descendants are believed to have been hunters and warriors spreading throughout North Africa. Finally, Canaan, Ham's youngest son, became the father of the Canaanites, a group of people who lived in the region that is now Israel and Palestine. The Canaanites are frequently mentioned in the Bible, often as adversaries of the Israelites, but they, too, were a significant people with a long and storied history. Cush's lineage did not remain confined to Ethiopia and Sudan. His descendants spread across Africa and even beyond, influencing the development of civilizations far from their original homeland. The The Bible and other ancient texts identify Cush's descendants as the ancestors of many African peoples, including the Ethiopians, Nubians, Malians, Eritreans, and Kenyans. The kingdom of Cush was not the only Cushite civilization. In fact, Cushite influence extended across the continent, with traces of Cushite ancestry found in regions as diverse as South India and the African Great Lakes. The people of South India, some scholars suggest, share linguistic and genetic ties with the Cushites of Africa, further illustrating the wide-reaching impact of Cush's descendants. In biblical times, Cush was often associated with Ethiopia and the lands south of Egypt. The term Cush was used to describe Ethiopia, Sudan, and parts of Africa. It was a name synonymous with wealth, power, and culture. The Ethiopians, known in ancient times for their wisdom and learning, were seen as a great and noble people. One of the most misunderstood stories in the Bible is the so-called Curse of Ham. This story, found in Genesis 9, tells of a time when Noah became intoxicated after drinking wine made from his vineyard. While Noah was asleep in a drunken state, Ham, his son, saw his father's nakedness, and instead of covering him up, he told his brothers, Shem and Japheth, about it. The brothers respectfully covered their father without looking at him, but when Noah awoke and learned what had happened, he cursed Canaan, Ham's son. It is important to clarify that Noah did not curse Ham or all of his descendants. The curse was specifically directed at Canaan, and it is a grave mistake to interpret this story as implying that all African peoples were cursed. Sadly, this misinterpretation has been used throughout history to justify the oppression and mistreatment of Black and African people. However, a close reading of the text reveals that the curse was only placed on Canaan and had no bearing on the other sons of Ham, including Cush, Mizraim, and Phut. In fact, the story of Ham and his descendants should be viewed as one of triumph and greatness. Despite the curse placed on Canaan, Ham's other sons went on to become the founders of some of the greatest civilizations in history, including Egypt, Ethiopia, and Nubia. Ham lived an extraordinarily long life, according to biblical accounts, and was able to witness the growth of his descendants across multiple generations. Like his brother Shem, Ham is believed to have lived for around 600 years or more, a length of time that allowed him to see the rise of the great nations that his sons founded. The location of Ham's burial remains a mystery, with some suggesting that he may have been buried in Ethiopia, Nubia, or even Egypt. His legacy, however, is undeniable. The nations that Ham fathered continue to influence the world today, their contributions to culture, science, and religion shaping the course of human history. The Book of Jubilees, an ancient Jewish text, provides additional insights into Ham's life and the lives of his descendants. According to this text, Ham was the first to establish a city after the flood, naming it Male Tloch in honor of his wife. Ham's displeasure with his son Canaan's decision to settle in the land of Shem is also discussed in the Book of Jubilees, further illustrating the complex relationships between Ham and his descendants. The stories of Ham and his descendants are more than just genealogical records. They are a testament to the strength, wisdom, and resilience of the African and Black peoples. From the Nile's banks to the Ethiopian highlands, the descendants of Ham built civilizations that stood the test of time. Their achievements in architecture, governance, and learning are celebrated even today. The Bible's accounts of Ham's descendants remind us that Africa has always been a land of greatness. The sons of Ham laid the foundations for some of the world's oldest and most advanced civilizations, and their stories deserve to be told, remembered, and honored. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this exploration of the Bible's stories about Africa and its people, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell for future updates. Stay tuned for more episodes where we will delve even deeper into the fascinating stories found in the Bible, stories that illuminate the rich and complex history of our world.